Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? ¿Cómo están? Otra vez aquí estamos para aprender español con su profesor Pablo. Soy yo, me llamo Pablo. All right, our lesson today, la lección del día, the day's lesson, la lección de hoy, is this, that, these, and those plus a noun. This, that, these, and those. Tips, tricks, and tools are coming your way right now. I want you to think of the number 3, and I want you to think of distance. Okay? We're going to use the number 3 and the idea of distance, both physical, spatial distance, and mental distance. Okay? Now, here's how you say this, that, these, and those, but we have a second way of saying that and a second way of saying those. You see the asterisk? Okay? The asterisk is meaning that when you use these, aquel, aquella, aquellos, and aquellas, you're referring to something that's way far away, much farther away. So I said, think of 3. For example, this house, you're a realtor and you're right in front of the house, and you say this house, it would be esta casa, right? Let's say you point across the street and you want to say that house, it would be esa casa. This house, esta casa. That house would be esa casa. But that house down yonder, that house way over there, aquella casa. So, why do I say think in 3? Because you have 3 choices. There's going to be this, that, or that far away. Or it's going to be these, those, and those way down yonder. So there's 3 spatial distances here. Either physical distance, like the house in front of you, the house across the street, and the one down the street. There's a physical distance, and there are 3 choices. This, that, or that way over there. Same thing, these, those, or those way over there. So that's the idea of 3. The first choice is this or these, close to you. That would be the second choice. Fairly near to you still, but not as close as this. That would be your second choice. And the third choice in terms of distance, the furthest away would be the aquel, aquella, aquellos, and aquellas. So that's why we say think 3, and we want to think of distance. Distance. Okay, again, like with the houses, physical distance. Okay, let's say you're talking about something that's not physical, but it's distant in your mind, okay? And it could be distant, it could be a pleasurable memory, it could be a non-pleasurable memory, or it could be just a so-so thing, something positive, something negative. Let's take the word año for year. I think here we go. If I want to say this year, este año, this year. If I want to say you're talking about something that happened on a specific year, oh, that year, ese año, we go from este año to ese año. But if you want to say, oh yeah, that year, meaning like way back, that year where the house got flooded, that would be aquel año. So this is distant in memory, in time, not distant geographically. Okay? Let's say you're talking about, let's say you wanted to become a Navy SEAL, and God bless you and thank you for your service to our great country. Okay. Those months that you were in the, I think they call it BUDS training. Okay, you remember those, let's say 20 years ago, and you want to say, wow, those months, like they were so tough, they were so rigorous, right? So demanding. So let's find mes. Mes is a month, okay? If I want to say this month, it'd be este mes. If I want to say that month, it would be ese mes. But if I want to say those months, like way back in time, I'd go with aquellos. Aquellos meses. Wow. Yo recuerdo aquellos meses. I remember those months. So think of 3 and think of distance. Okay? Next to you, somewhat close and far away. Think of distance. All right, let's go here with día. These days. Estos días, todo es diferente. These days, everything is different. Let's go with semana. Oh man, I remember that year, way back when. I remember that week. I remember that week so well, way back when we were freshmen in high school. That week, feminine, aquella semana. We already did mes, we did año. Let's talk about casa, we did. Let's go with edificio. Let's say you're in a big city and there are buildings all over the place. And you're a street photographer and you say, wow, I like this building. Me gusta este edificio, this building. Your friend says, I like that building. A mí me gusta, or me gusta ese edificio. And then a third person in your party says, I like the building way over there, way over there. You'd say, me gusta aquel edificio. There's a physical distance there, the buildings. Tienda. I like these stores. Me gustan estas tiendas. You like those stores, huh? Te gustan esas tiendas. My mom likes those stores over there. A mi mamá le gustan aquellas tiendas. Very simple. This, that, these, and those, but there are two ways of saying this or these. But that has two ways of saying, one further away, and those would be two ways, one further away as well. Camisa, this shirt, esta camisa, mira esta camisa. Look at this shirt. Look at that shirt. Mira esa camisa. Wow, 4 racks over in the store. Look at that shirt over there. Mira aquella. Aquella camisa. Aquella camisa. Aquella camisa, the one way over there. Think of 3 and think of distance. Anillo. Oh, this ring. Wow. Este anillo. That ring. Ese anillo. That ring over there at the end of the counter. Aquel anillo. Árbol. These trees. Oh, they're beautiful. These trees. Okay, it's masculine. Estos árboles. Estos árboles. Those trees. Esos árboles. Those trees way over there. Aquellos árboles. All right. Again, the first cluster, day, week, month, year, house, building, and edifice, store, shirt, ring, tree. Let's look at our second cluster. City, child, lady, book, song, rule, like a rule in a classroom, chica, girl, animal, animal, and planta, plant. This city, esta ciudad. All right? The language learning module is starting to process now. When you say esta with ciudad, your brain is processing the DAD ending and it's saying, hey, esta ciudad, dad, words that end in dad must be feminine. And that is right, okay? Lealtad, loyalty, facultad, faculty. Words that end in DAD, like ciudad or TAD, are feminine. So this city, esta ciudad. That city, esa ciudad. Those cities would be esas ciudades, add an ES. Those cities way over there would be aquellas ciudades. Aquellas ciudades. And it could be geographic distance, but it could be a mental thing like this city, you're talking about its relationship with its community members. You're talking about, oh yeah, that city that's having some problems with their plumbing. Esa ciudad. And those cities, you could be referring to those cities like distant in your mind, that those cities that have maybe a concern with a water system. You'd say, yeah, aquellas ciudades. They're on the back burner, okay? Dod words and Todd words are feminine. Niño is a child. Who is this kid? ¿Quién es este niño? Who is that kid? ¿Quién es ese niño? Who's that kid over there? ¿Quién es aquel niño? Playground, teacher. Who's that kid way over there at the end of the playground? ¿Quién es aquel niño? Who are these kids? ¿Quiénes son estos niños? Right? Who are those kids way over there? ¿Quiénes son aquellos niños? Señora. This lady is very pretty. Esta señora es muy bonita. Oh, es tu mamá, it's your mom. Felicidades, congratulations. Tu mamá es muy bonita. Señora, that lady across the street, esa señora, that lady needs help. Esa señora necesita ayuda. This lady doesn't need help. Esta señora no necesita ayuda. That lady way over there, she needs a lot of help. Aquella, right here. Aquella señora necesita mucha ayuda. Necesita muchísima ayuda. Libro, book. These books are mine. Estos libros son míos. Those books are yours. Esos libros son tuyos. These books are ours. Estos libros son nuestros. Canción. I love that song. Me encanta esa canción. I love those songs. Me encantan, the N factor. Me encantan esas canciones. Add an ES and drop the accent mark. Me encantan esas canciones. Language learning module. Any word that ends in tion, which is the equivalent of the English tion, it's feminine and it takes an accent mark every time on the O. This is a diphthong. The I and O are blending together, forming one sound. Again, two vowels forming one sound. It counts as one vowel. So therefore, canción ends in an NS or a vowel. The stress should be on the second vowel back. The second vowel back is not the I, because the I and the O are blended together in a diphthong and they count only as one. So words that end in NS or a vowel are supposed to be stressed where? On the second vowel back. We don't say canción, we say canción, okay? When you got to put an accent mark there. So you got two vowels. Does it go on the I or the O? It's got to go on the O because the O is the stronger sounding vowel. Canción. The accent goes on the O. What happens if you put it on the I? It'd be canción. Like the word for uncle, tío, tia for aunt. There's an accent on the I, right? It breaks up the I and the O and makes two separate vowel sounds. Two vowels. But I-O, one vowel sound. Okay, I love these songs. Me encantan estas canciones. Yeah, those songs from back in the 50s, those songs, no thank you. Yes, thank you, I love them, right? Me encantan aquellas canciones. Those songs way back then, aquellas canciones. Remember, tips, tricks, and tools. Think of three. There's three distances, like close to you, a little further away, and way farther away. So think of three. There's three different positions of these adjectives with what you're referring to. Whether it's really close to you, where it's like across the street or over there, and then if it's way down yonder, it's going to be the aquel, aquella, aquellos, or aquellas. Regla. That rule is stupid. Kids say all the time. Esa regla es estúpida. Esa regla no sirve. That rule is no good. I don't like that rule. No me gusta esa regla. Or you say, these rules. The teacher says, these rules are important. Estas reglas son importantes. Chica. This girl's name is Susana. Esta chica se llama Susana. That girl's name is Marisol. Esa chica se llama Marisol. I don't know that girl's name. That girl way over there, I don't know her name. Aquella chica, yo no sé cuál es su nombre. I don't know what her name is. Yo no sé cómo se llama. Animal. These animals are big. Estos animales son grandes. Son muy grandes. Those animals way over there in the zoo are dangerous. Aquellos. Aquellos animales son peligrosos. Planta. This plant is beautiful. Esta planta es bella. Esta planta es hermosa. Foto, picture, or photo. Perro, dog, gato, cat. Playa, beach. Carro, car. Pueblo, town. Sofá, couch or sofa. Planta. How do you say couch in Spanish? Sofá. Sofá, as I know, it's sofá. Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay. Sofá. Why is there an accent on sofá? Because, little Zorro action. Words that end in a vowel, N or S, are supposed to be stressed 2 vowels back from the end of the word. This should be pronounced sofa, like in English, sofa. But in Spanish, we say sofá, sofá. It gets an accent mark because it breaks the rule. This accent mark over the A is telling you to pronounce the word stressing the A. Okay? It is a violator vowel. So if I want to say this sofa, it's el sofá. It's an exception. It would be este sofá. Those couches would be esos sofás. Like those lazy boy couches are awesome. Esos sofás de lazy boy son fantásticos. Let's go here. Foto, it's short for fotografía. It's la foto. I like these photos. Me gustan estas fotos. Okay? Oh, yeah, those photos from back in the 70s. Aquellas fotos. Wow. Aquellas fotos. Perro. That dog down the street. Aquel perro molesta mucho. Aquel perro ladra mucho. Aquel perro muerde. He bites. Gato. This cat's name is Fido. Este gato se llama Fido. That cat's name is Puquisito. Ese gato se llama Puquisito. That cat way over there, I don't know its name. Aquel gato, yo no sé cómo se llama. Playa. These beaches are beautiful. Estas playas de España son hermosas. These beaches in Spain are beautiful. Those beaches way over there are beautiful as well. Aquellas playas también son lindas, son preciosas, son hermosas. Carro. This car doesn't work. Este carro no sirve. That car doesn't work either. Ese carro no sirve. Tampoco. Those cars over there, they cost a lot of money. Aquellos carros cuestan mucho. Pueblo. This town is very, very pretty. Este pueblo es muy bonito. Este pueblo. Those towns way over there, aquellos pueblos. Okay, so we've gone over this, that, these, and those. We want you to think, when you do it, think of 3. Think of distancing, whether it's physical, spatial distance, or if it's something mentally, something distant in your memory. Like going back 30 or 40 years, if you're probably not that old, some of you. So going back to when you were in elementary school, you say, yeah, those years were so much fun. Aquellos años fueron muy divertidos, right? This year is difficult. Este año es difícil. Remember, think of 3 and think of your distancing. You're talking about something right here. This would be este or esta. That would be ese or esa. Though these right here would be estos or estas. Those like right there, close by but not immediately in front, would be esos and esas. And that one like way down yonder would be aquel or aquella. And those like way over there would be aquellos or aquellas. Now notice up here in our title it says plus noun. When you use these are called demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative means they point out. An adjective means it's a word that modifies a noun, like house. Which house? This house. This is modifying the word noun. That's not important. What's important is that you know how to say this, este or esta, and use it appropriately with whatever noun follows. But watch this. If you take the noun away, you can use these by themselves. If you want to say in English, you can say this one, it's either este or esta. But guess what? When you say this one, it's got to have an accent mark over the E if there's no noun after it. And now it becomes what we call a demonstrative pronoun. Pronoun taking the place of a noun. So we'll do a lesson on it, but I want to point it out right now so when we get to it, the language learning module can get to work. If I want to say that one, I could either say ese or esa. I could just point. Esa? That one? Talking about a girl. Esa? But if I just say esa without the noun, you got to put an accent mark over the E. Ese or esa. And why? Not for pronunciation, because words that end in a vowel are supposed to be stressed two vowels back. The stress is there already. It's because it's two vowels spelled, or two words spelled the same. So it distinguishes esa, that, from esa, that one. Okay? If I want to say these, like these, you're talking about books, these, estos. In English, a lot of people say these ones. It's incorrect. Grammatically, it's not right. But a lot of people say it. You don't want to call people out for it, but I'm trying to teach you the grammatical, accurate way. Try not to say, if you have that habit, these ones. You don't need to say ones, these. But it's okay to say this one or that one, but these, do you want these? You don't need to say, do you want these ones? The ones is not necessary. But if you want to just say these, without the noun, there's an accent on top of the E. Estos or estas. Like if I had a bunch of magazines, revistas, feminine, and I said, do you want these? ¿Quieres estas? There would be an accent mark over the E. Okay? And that's to distinguish it from estas without the accent mark. Same thing. That one way over there, you're talking about a house, so it's going to be aquella. Aquella, one word. A one-word question. Aquella, that one, like way over there, there would have to be an accent on the E because there's no noun after it. So this is a simple concept. Now that you know how to say this, that, these, and those, and that really far away or those far away, when you use these with a noun, there is no accent mark. You have the noun after it. But as soon as you take that noun away and just use the demonstrative adjective by itself, now it becomes a demonstrative pronoun, and you have to put an accent mark on the E, and then here. It goes on the E, and it goes on the E, and it goes on the E, and it goes on the E. Okay? Easy concept, right? So now hopefully you can confidently know how to choose between this, that, these, and those. Remember, 3, distance, whether it be physical distance or mental distance, right? In your mind, distant. Those are the tips, tricks, and tools for how to use these. And we use them all the time in conversation, like, I don't know if I want to buy these or those. Let's say you're in a flower shop, una florería. Las flores, feminine. I'm going to go with these words without the noun. So even though when I say it, it sounds the same without the accent mark or with the accent mark, but if you were to write it, you'd have to put the written accent mark if you're not including the noun. For example, I don't know if I want these or those. No sé si quiero. These for las flores would be estas with an accent if you write it out. No sé, say has an accent mark on the E. Why? Because there's the pronoun say with no accent to distinguish it in meaning. That is called a diacritical accent mark, and we got a whole big section on accent marks. And if you want to wrap your head around accent marks and have a million practice examples, look at Profesor Pablo, that ebook, 500 pages, it's all there, okay? If you write Spanish and you're a professional, you better be able to do your accent marks. And we'll have a lesson on that, but I think you're learning a lot about accent marks now. Getting back to our example, I don't know if I want these or those over there. It would be, no sé si quiero estas, with an accent on the E. O, the word for or is O or U, but O would be used here. No sé si quiero estas o aquellas. Aquellas would have an accent on the E. Why? Why, my students? Because there's no noun after it. If you use any of these listed here and there's no noun, bam! Hit it with an accent mark. If you're using these with a noun after it, smooth sailing, no accent mark. Okay? This, that, these, and those. Two ways of saying that. Ese, esa, aquel, aquella. Two ways of saying those. Esos, esas, aquellos, aquellas. Remember, 3 and distance. Okay, that's it. Great lesson, I think. Every day you will come across sentences, certainly, with these demonstrative adjectives or demonstrative pronouns as you hear them and as you read them or as you see them on TV. Okay? Gracias otra vez por una gran lección. Remember, it's always gracias por. I give you thanks. Gracias por tu ayuda. Thanks for your help. I get your help and you get my thanks. Por means in exchange for also. Gracias por also means in exchange for. Gracias por. That's why we say por and not para. Okay? Es todo por ahora. That's all for now. Hasta pronto. Cuídense. Colorín colorado. Este cuento se ha acabado. Ya estuvo. Cambio fuera.